From offering Aljamain Sterling a supercharged olive branch, to handing Conor McGregor a massive bonus after his victory over Cowboy, I've got to talk about Dana White giving a fighter a $652,000 bonus after their disagreement. The UFC president, a man who knows a thing or two about living the high life, has just pulled off a jaw-dropping surprise for the reigning champ Aljamain Sterling. Dana never shies away from splurging on luxury, but this time he's decided to use his money for someone else, rewarding Sterling for more than just his skills inside the octagon. Oh no, folks, this is about attitude, determination, and a champion who gives it all in the ring. Aljamain took to his Instagram profile to make an announcement that had fans and followers buzzing with excitement. It turns out that Dana White kept his word and delivered on a promise he'd made to the fighter. The same one involving a car, the Lamborghini Huracan, worth a mind-boggling $652,000 to be specific. Talk about a statement gift. So, it's no surprise that Sterling wasted no time flaunting it. He struck a pose next to the vibrant green Lamborghini, making sure to capture the moment for all his fans to see. And let me tell you folks, it was a sight to behold. This gesture from Dana is not only a show of appreciation, but it's also bound to ignite an even fiercer fire within the champion's heart. Total domination is on the horizon. But hold on tight, folks, because this heartwarming gesture comes after a fiery war of words between these two powerhouses. You might remember that the UFC president recently found himself in the midst of a bitter feud with heavyweight sensation Francis Ngannou over pay issues, causing Ngannou to part ways with the UFC. Yeah, the drama was crazy, but guess what? That wasn't the end of it. Dana then decided to pick another argument, and this time, it involved none other than the reigning bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. Yep, that's right, it all started at UFC 288. From the opening bell, both Sterling and Henry Cejudo showcased their mastery of the sport, engaging in a high-stakes game of chess inside the octagon. Feints, calculated strikes, and grappling exchanges that made jaws drop, this bout had it all. But as the rounds progressed, it became evident that Sterling's arsenal of attacks was simply too much for Triple C to handle. Throughout the fight, Sterling utilized his reach advantage and a diverse range of strikes to keep Cejudo at bay. As the fifth and final round approached, Cejudo pressed forward, unleashing his best shots in a desperate bid to turn the tide. However, despite his valiant efforts, he couldn't find a way to truly hurt Sterling. The final horn sounded,
Down the stretch, Aljamain Sterling,
marking the end of this epic battle. And when the judges announced the verdict, 2 out of the 3 were all for the defending champion. So Aljamain became the first bantamweight title holder in UFC history to successfully defend the belt 3 times, which is big. With this win, the bantamweight division witnessed the rise of a true force, a champion who's proven himself time and time again. Naturally, everyone expected Sterling to continue his domination, but then things took an unexpected turn. The next name on the fighters list was supposed to be Sean O'Malley, a rising star and the next contender in line according to both the rankings and the UFC president himself. Fans and enthusiasts were waiting for this clash of styles, power, and determination. But sadly, things took an unexpected turn. The UFC president announced that Sterling would face Sean O'Malley at UFC 292 on August 19, 2023. And guess what? Our champion got frustrated, expressing concerns about not being fully healed in time for the fight. And oh boy, White did not take those comments lightly. He came out swinging, claiming that Aljamain was one of those guys who couldn't get out of his own way, implying that if he wasn't healthy, he shouldn't have taken the fight in the first place. Yikes! That's a verbal punch right there. Dana even went on to say that he'll pick up someone else for the interim title, causing quite a buzz on social media. When he got pretty frustrated during a press conference, and in a moment of irritation, he threw a challenge to the audience, asking them to guess who had contacted him earlier, expressing doubts about Sterling's willingness to fight. White even sweetened the deal by offering a $100 reward to anyone who could guess correctly. Out of the blue, a reporter blurted out, "Henry," referring to the infamous Triple C himself, Henry Cejudo. And you know what? Dana White immediately pulled out a crisp $100 bill and handed it to the reporter right then and there. Turns out Cejudo had indeed reached out to White, boldly declaring, "This title dude doesn't want to fight? Well, I'm up for it, count me in. I'll take on O'Malley." So yeah, the shots were fired. But you know Sterling doesn't back down easily. He clapped back with an equally fiery response, accusing the UFC boss of being disingenuous and taking shots at his reputation. The fighter made it clear that when he says he's gonna show up and fight, he means it, no matter what. But he didn't stop there. He took to social media to let out his frustrations, tweeting about how he was left in the dark about the fight being announced without any communication or consideration for his injuries. This took the tension up several notches. But guess what? Just when we thought these two would be at each other's throats for life, Dana threw in a plot twist, leaving the fans in shock. After all the drama, Dana and Aljamain managed to bury the hatchet and reconcile. And how did they do that, you ask? Prepare to have your mind blown, because Dana White, the man himself, decided to make amends with the ultimate gesture of goodwill. He gifted Aljamain Sterling a brand new stunning green Lamborghini Huracan sports car, worth a jaw-dropping $652,000. You heard it here, fight fans. The olive branch came in the form of a supercharged V10 engine. And who wouldn't want to end an argument like this? Sterling took to social media, posting an Instagram picture of the car, and publicly thanking White, saying that the green looks good on him. Well, no arguments there, Aljamain. The bantamweight champion will now be cruising in style, that's for sure. But of course, this sudden reconciliation had the fans confused. But Sterling went on the record to talk about how Dana had once promised him a Lambo before, and this just proves that he's a man of his words. There's more to the situation than just flashy wheels, though. When asked if this means he and the big boss are now close friends, Sterling responded with a smirk saying, "I think so." The bantamweight champion believes that he's the money fight, the real main event, and whenever Dana needs someone to step up, he knows exactly who to call. So it looks like the beef between Dana and Aljamain has been squashed, and a shiny green Lamborghini played a major role in their reconciliation. Who knew a sports car could mend fences in the world of UFC? Who knows? Maybe their new friendship will also lead to some extraordinary fights and collaborations. But let's not forget that this act of generosity isn't a one-time thing for the UFC president. Oh no, it's become a trademark move of his. Dana's known for going above and beyond to show his gratitude to the fighters, who give their all inside the octagon. One remarkable story of the Big Boss's generosity involves a Muay Thai fighter named John Esposito. Back in late 2021, tragedy struck when the fighter lost both of his legs in a horrific accident. John was just doing his job as a road worker, filling potholes on the side of a highway, when out of nowhere, a speeding car crashed into him, pinning him against a trailer. It's a devastating turn of events that would crush anyone's spirit. The Muay Thai project founder, Liam Tarrant, decided to set up a GoFundMe campaign for John. And guess what? The story caught the attention of White himself, and moved by John's struggle, he made a jaw-dropping donation of $10,000. And let's not forget about White's generosity after Conor McGregor outclassed Donald Cowboy in the octagon. The Irishman walked away from that fight with $3 million in his pocket. But guess what? The big boss himself decided to sprinkle a little extra magic into Conor's celebration. McGregor had previously faced a $50,000 fine for his misconduct after the Khabib Nurmagomedov fight, but the president of the UFC handed Conor a jaw-dropping bonus of $50,000. Yep, you heard that right. The same amount that was once deducted from McGregor's pocket for his actions. I guess you can say things came full circle for him. So, from handing Conor McGregor a $50,000 bonus after his victory over Cowboy, to offering Aljamain Sterling a supercharged olive branch, that was all about Dana White giving a fighter $652,000 car after a disagreement.